Well, good morning, friends, and welcome back to my channel. I figure it's time for a garden tour since you haven't really seen it since I just started planting it. I don't think I had it completely finished, but it's done now and it's doing fantastic. Those are my onions. Look at the sets. These are my Egyptian walking onions. See those sets on them? Anyway, you can see my shovel in there. I have been harvesting them and freeze drying them. It's turning out pretty good. And those are 2 little buckets of chives. Those are the new chives I added. And I'm going to freeze dry them this year too. In fact, I have grown a lot. That's all flowers. I tore all the mint out of that and just made it into a little flower bucket because I wasn't sure what I was going to do with it yet. My flowers over there, they're doing good. My big bunch of sage, I'm going to be harvesting that pretty soon and freeze drying that. I got more onions in there. Over here, I've got a dead bucket. I don't know what happened to it. I think roots grew through it and it just got all waterlogged. So, of course, you know, I haven't done nothing with it yet. I might just tear all that out of there and throw some beans in it or something. And my thyme is in that bucket. I think I've ripped out so much of that, oh my goodness, I can never think of that. That French tarragon, that's what that big bush is. And I have ripped so much out of it because it really takes over everything. I think I killed it, but that's all right. And I planted one nasturtium plant in there, and it's doing really good. I love it. But over here, these are my first 2 beds that my husband souped up for me. And I've got peppers and tomatoes, beans, and some basil in the middle of that. Now, those peppers aren't doing as good. And you know me, I always have trouble with peppers. But I think it's because they're so finicky, you know. But the beans and the tomatoes are doing good. And I've also got my little clips coming so I can hook my tomatoes to the fence because those are all indeterminates. Now these peppers here are doing fabulous. They've even got little banana peppers on them. So this one's doing really good over here. I love that. And I've got tomato. I think those are cherry tomatoes I planted in these again with beans. I got little marigolds in there. I gotta clean out that water. It just gets icky after it rains. Same thing here. I have got tomatoes and green beans and some marigolds. Doing really, really well. Now, we'll take a look down here at everything. Stuff is growing so good. A lot of stuff is early this year, and I don't know why. Our weather was kind of cool to start out with in the spring. Those are my green beans, which I don't know what's going on with them. I haven't a clue. They're having a little bit of a rough time over there. And my cucumbers, my little pickling cucumbers, which are doing pretty good. They're doing pretty good. I got a couple of little brown leaves on them, and I don't know what that is. This, friends, I thought was a patty pan squash, and I think it's a zucchini. Maybe not. I haven't known. No, that's not this one. It's the one out front I thought was a patty pan, and it's a zucchini. This may be a patty pan squash. My beets are doing fabulous. You can look in there. I'm going to have a nice harvest of beets this year. And of course, I'll make pickled beets. My family loves them. And then these 2 beds over here, they're just simply cucumbers and beans. That's it. And they're doing really good. Absolutely. Out front here, these are just my hostas. I put a few marigolds in there and a couple sunflowers. I didn't do much with this because we're going to rip that porch right there out. We're going to put a new porch in. And it might be a little bit bigger, so I'm going to have to relocate some of my hostas. The market stand is doing good. That's over there. This weekend it wasn't very busy and there was hardly anybody around. But here's my pond, friends. That's looking good. Look at my big geranium, and I think that's sweet potato vine, I believe. Anyway, my pond is doing nice, and all my flowers and my herbs around my pond, they're all shade loving, so that's doing really good. My water is nice and clear and clean, and I love it. So everything's doing really good. I haven't cooked out yet. I haven't set up, well, I've been cooking out, yes, but I haven't set up my griddle. My griddle's going to go on this table right there, and if you look, it looks like it's glassy because I polyurethaned it with outdoor polyurethane. I think it's Hensman's, something like that, but it makes it look like glass, and that way it can withstand the rain and the water. And I use that a lot of times to clean all my, well, you've seen me. I was out here doing strawberries. I did strawberry jam right over there. I clean all my veggies over here. I have a ball at this table, and I'm going to use it for, I'm going to put my griddle, my tabletop griddle over there. And yeah, that's nice. And my blocks of wood are drying for, I'll show you these. These are drying for butcher blocks. Nice, hey? Those are going to be nice when they're all dry. My husband's got them sitting over there for us. That's my stuff in the corner. That's a hot mess. We're going to build a lean-to over there and put everything away where it, you know, under the lean-to where it goes. This is a Three Sisters garden I did. And then I've got some, and they're doing pretty good. Radishes are coming up. Those are the French breakfast radishes I planted in there. These are yellow squash. You can see the yellow squash on there. They'll have a couple little squashes on them. But I've got corn, pole beans, and squash growing in there. It's doing really good. This one is the one I thought was a patty pan. And this is a zucchini squash. It's doing really good too. I got my little zucchini right there. You see it? Nice. And that's my little culinary garden that I showed you that we did. Beautiful. All this stuff is doing really good. We have trouble with lettuce in the summertime. You know, lettuce is something you grow in the early spring when it's nice and cool because it loves it cool. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to put my lettuce over here where it's partially shaded. Look at them. Those are doing really good. Those are cucumbers and beans over there too. My beans are already growing up the top of the fence. But my lettuce, it is making really nice heads already. And it's forming heads on it. Look at that. Beautiful. See that? It's doing really good in this section where it's partially shaded. Over here, now I did buy, because my greenhouse didn't do the greatest, so I did wind up buying some of my plants from my Amish friends. And what I thought was all cabbage, some of it was broccoli. So if you look here, you'll see the little heads of broccoli that are starting in there. So I got broccoli. I got about 4 plants of broccoli, and each of them have a little head of broccoli starting. But they did good over here in the shade. And my cabbages are doing really good too. And these are little red potatoes. Those are doing well. I got cucumbers, so, you know, to grow up along the fence there. But I did yellow wax beans in this area. And you see I got a wild tomato, or not a wild tomato, but a volunteer tomato growing right there. And a sunflower. But the wax beans, this year the seeds didn't do very good for me. So I filled that in with regular jade beans. So those will be coming up pretty soon. These guys are doing good. Nobody's bothering them in here. And I'll show you, this lid on here is so heavy that my husband made it to where it would slide. So I'll show you that. If anybody's wondering how my husband did this, it's real easy. He's pretty crafty. He used a shower track, you know, for a sliding door in a shower. Well, he used that on here. Upside down, of course. It worked quite well. Now the door, I don't have to worry about lifting it or the little kids lifting it and it dropping on them. You just slide it open. Perfect. I think he's a crafty fella. The little critters can't undo that. Now watch. This just slides. And it slides open. And you can see all the... I love it. Now he only lets it slide a little ways. And I can get in there. It's enough for me to get in there and do what I need to do. Look at them. They're growing pretty good in there. And they're protected so well in there. Okay, so the chickens are doing good. I have yet to feed them this morning. That's why they're crowding the door over there. Look here, she's looking at me like, what are you going to bring us some food? Anyway, this is not doing that good. My flowers around this side of the tree especially, where I think it slopes a little too much. I should have built it up a little bit. So next year I'll build that up a little better and make it a more leveler area. Here we'll look at these. These are all my flowers and my mint. It's doing really good in there. I've got some of my, look at that. My sunflowers are forming blooms on them already. They're beautiful. I don't think I planted any giant mammoth sunflowers this year, but my garden in there, my flower garden's doing really nice. And my potatoes, they're doing really good. Those are the no-dig ones, and they're doing fantastic. Now this one over here, I'm just so amazed. This is my romaine lettuce, and it's doing really good. And that is my rutabagas. And I'm going to dehydrate the rutabagas because I love them in soup. They taste just like potatoes in soup. And I got a little bucket of parsley there, and I need to get busy and start harvesting that and get it freeze-dried. But that's doing good. My carrots over here are doing really good, and I filled the rest of the empty spots in with some more, you know, seeds. And those, I won't even worry about those till... Look at her, she's climbing she's all feisty. Charlie, she's climbing up the tree. Honey, you're too chubby to get in that tree. Her transmission's almost dragging. Look at that belly on her. Anyway, I planted all the empty spots full of carrots, and I won't harvest those until later in the fall. My tomatoes over here are doing good. They're just loaded with tomatoes. But I do need to get, and they're coming, I think I just told you that. My clips are coming probably Friday to get all those clipped up to the fence. Because those are all indeterminates. My celery's doing really good. And I side dressed everything with my composted chicken manure. So you see a little bit of straw in there. That's the bedding and everything. It's doing wonderful. Over there, that's all potatoes. And you can see they're doing good. Those were the no-dig ones too. Absolutely fantastic. Let's take a look in here. Ooh, look at all the eggs. That one right here, can you see that? I only got a poopy egg in there, but she's broody. I got a broody hen sitting on all those eggs. I don't know if she must be getting a drink or something, but she's been in there. And she'll probably hatch out quite a few of those eggs. Let's see, we got a couple more eggs in there for today. I've been getting about 2 dozen eggs. They're doing good in there. They're staring at me like, when are we going to eat? I'll feed you in just a few minutes. Let me get my garden tour done and we'll give you some food. My husband named the roosters Red and Barren. Those roosters are so awesome. Okay, so we're going to go back around here. And yes, friends, we got a mess back here. Not really, just the kids' toys in their boat. Because we are going to finally have that all filled in and leveled out. They gave us a really good price on it. Over here I've got a cabbage, what I thought was 2 cabbages. I got a cabbage and of broccoli. See it? But it's doing good. I just need to get to this one. See how much smaller the cabbages are? I need to get to this one and get it side dressed and get some of my composted manure in there. Get it fed pretty good, and it'll just shoot right up. I didn't even put lime in this bed. This bed has basically nothing. So I got to get that going. This bed, of course, look how beautiful it's doing. I got it side dressed with manure. The beans are doing good on there. These are all beans and turnips. Those are doing really good. See down in there? They're doing good. Look at that one already. These are going to be beautiful. So those are the purple top turnips, and they're doing good in there. And then I got my little bed of kale. That's doing good too. And over here I had a couple extra tomato plants, so I just whipped them in here so that I can clip them to the fence. I didn't want them to die. And look, they're all full of buds and everything. And I got pole beans in there. They're doing good. I had some extra. That don't need to be in there. I had some extra cucumbers, so I put them in these containers here. And they're doing good in there. I just put one plant per container, so they'll do fine. I can spread them apart as they get bigger. Here's the big garden. And this, friends, is doing fantastic. I'll show you this is all peppers down through here. And look at this. I am still, after they tore this house down 12, 15 years ago, I am still picking up glass. It's still coming up from when they tore that house down. I'm going to put that in my pocket. I got a little bucket I keep all the glass pieces in when I find them. These are my yellow wax beans. And you can see how kind of they're sporadic through there. So the seeds didn't do very well. And I know it's not the garden, it's the seeds. So I'm going to go through this afternoon and plug in some regular jade beans in there. And they'll come up pretty good. And I'll show you. These are marigolds and tomatoes. Look at my tomatoes. I can't wait till I can get them clipped up to the fence and trimmed up and taken care of. They're doing beautiful. And this, of course, look at my squash on there. You can see the yellow squash. This is another row of Three Sisters garden. I was just curious. I never did a Three Sisters garden before. And I was curious how it would do. Friends, it's doing fantastic. They really complement each other, you know, perfect. And these 4 rows are all green beans. And I planted them the same time I did the yellow beans, so I know it's the seed. Because look at how beautiful these are doing. I'm going to have a lot of green beans. And then my last and final row over here is all potatoes. So this has done very well. The Three Sisters garden, I'm impressed. And I put a beautiful marigold in between each of my tomatoes because they complement each other. They grow together nicely. I got a couple of cucumber plants in there. And it looks like I got a couple of marigolds growing over there. And I'll leave them too, you know. But stuff like this, I got to come in, pick that out of there. And I got rutabagas over there, that little bunch, just kind of willy-nilly in the garden, but that's all right, it does good. Over here, these are my birdhouse gourds. You can see they're starting to take off. She attached to the fence already, so they're doing good. And this one needs to come up this way because this is my cucumber there. I'll put her over there. There's my little rock thing I keep glass in. So that's doing good. I've already harvested quite a few of my radishes there. And I got more radishes and basil over here growing. That's doing good. I grow a lot of radishes. I love them. And that's basil over there. Doing really good. And over here, I've got a big old pot of parsley, which needs to be harvested a little bit, so I keep getting more. And I've got this is my fern leaf dill. This is beautiful. I'm gonna harvest some of this. It's gorgeous. Get that harvested, and I'm gonna freeze dry it for winter time. And I'm gonna give my neighbor, she likes to pickle, so I'm gonna give her these for pickling her veggies that she likes to do. So it's pretty though, looks really good. I try and keep it as maintained as I can. I got my little electric tiller that runs through there, goes between the rows, just beautiful. I got it spaced just far enough apart so that I can do that real good. And everything looks good. It's all doing quite well. Chickens are loving it. I had to relocate little Rusty, the little kitten. She's a chicken hawk. Remember I told you that there was a raccoon that got into the chickens? Because it absolutely tore them apart. It was Rusty. She got him, and we didn't know until she got a hold of another one. And we had a little baby get loose when we had the lid open. We couldn't catch her, and but Rusty did, and she just tore her up. So I can't have that. You know, she's a good little kitty. She's a hunter. She's doing what cats do, but I can't have that, you know. So there's a girl that I know that works down at the local butcher shop, and she's got the brother to Rusty. So she come by last night and she took Rusty home. So she'll do good out there. She doesn't have chickens or anything that, you know, she can get into other than field mice and the things that you want them to get rid of. But so I'm kind of sad about that, but it has to be that way. I can't have that. Charlie doesn't know what to think. I don't think Charlie too much cared for Rusty, but she's old and crotchety, so, you know, that's all right. I forgot to show you my potatoes over here. That's a big bin of potatoes. Those are fingerling potatoes, and I think I got a few red potatoes in there. Oh, they're doing good. And if you can see up here, my husband, we went to replace the door. Our door's brand new and the screen door is brand new. Well, when we took the other door off, where you see the wood at on the wall there, it was all rotten from the ceiling down. That entire wall would wobble back and forth. So my husband rebuilt that entire wall, put in there, rebraced up by the ceiling, so everything's, you know, like new again. And we're not going to worry about this the way it looks right now, because we are going to re-side this. And we were thinking about tearing off these old cedar shakes and going at it, you know, just tearing them off and doing fresh. But if the closer I get, you're going to see it. There's cedar shakes. These are the cedar shakes. They've got cement under the cedar shakes. And I grew a lot more food this year than last year. So every year I think I grow a little more food. But anyway, friends, that's the garden tour for today. I need to go take care of the chickens. You've seen them out there waiting for their breakfast. And you will have a good day. We're going to do a chit-chat later, so I'll see you then.